Everyone has crap in their house. Everyone wants to know, is this crap worth anything? That's what this TV show should be called. Is this crap worth anything?
Up first, a trip to New York City with this talented funny man.
I'm Ronny Chieng. What might people recognize me from? What am I going to put on my bio if I die?
Ronny is best known as a correspondent on The Daily Show with Trevor Noah and for his role in the hit film Crazy Rich Asians. You may have also seen him in his very own Netflix stand-up special, Asian Comedian Destroys America.
Or maybe you just saw me on the street one time and I said hi and you remembered me. I don't know. I was born in Johor Bahru, Malaysia. When I was 3 years old, my parents moved to America to go to college. I spent about 4 years in Manchester, New Hampshire, from 3 to 7 years old. I spent the next 10 years in Singapore. And then after I finished high school, I went to Australia for law school. And I kind of started doing stand-up comedy in Australia. I was getting more work from stand-up comedy than I was in law. I live in New York City right now. I've lived here for the last 5 years. New York City, it's the best. It's not the best, but it's the best. It's crowded, everything is gross, there's pigeons eating rats. It's the worst, but it's the best. The energy here, the creative energy here, you can't replicate it. We are right now filming on a rooftop because my house is not big enough to have more than one person in there. New York apartments are very small and they're very expensive. And so the more stuff you have in your collection, that's all money. Like when you see a pile of stuff, you're like, that's a pile of money. So you try to be a bit more minimalist in New York, but there's some stuff which I find it hard to let go of. A lot of my collection, it has to do with comedy, career memorabilia. Maybe it triggers dopamine or something, but it makes it hard for me to throw stuff away.
Roadshow appraiser Simeon Lippman stopped by to appraise some stuff from Ronny Chieng's career memorabilia pile.
We have some really exciting stuff here. Tell me a little bit about it.
I was very lucky to be part of this movie, Crazy Rich Asians. Working on this movie was a life-changing experience, not just from a career point of view, but just the people I got to meet. Till today, we still talk every day. I just let them know I'm doing this. They can't believe it. They want to know how much this stuff is worth. When you do movies, the script goes through so many revisions, but this was the script I studied the most. As you can see, I highlighted things because I'm a professional. And then I wrote down some notes about the character, what I think he should be feeling. I also wrote some alternative lines. That was something cool on the film, that the director really trusted us to just go for it. And this is actually a really cool piece for me. When we were in post-production for the movie, they composed all original music and they had a live orchestra play it. And so when they were recording the music for it, I happened to be in Los Angeles. And so the director, John Chu, called me and said, hey, do you want to come to Warner Brothers studio and watch them record the music? And I was like, of course, it's unbelievable. And I don't know if it was a coincidence, but they happened to be playing the theme for my character, Cousin Eddie. When the character's introduced, it's the theme playing in the background. The conductor, Brian Tyler, signed the music sheet and gave it to me.
I love the inscription. It's something you can't buy. The fact that it's to you, the fact that it's your theme music in the movie, and that it's signed, I would put a value about $750 on it.
What?
The best part about a script like this is the use, the annotations, and of course, the connection to the film. And the film is so popular, such a great movie. So you got a lot of things going for you as far as value. And as such, even though it's still a relatively recent film, a script like that would probably be worth about $1,500.
What?
Yeah. And that $1,500 is a retail price.
I should have kept more of these things. We had like 5 of these things in my trailer. I guess money does buy happiness.
Later on, we'll see if appraising Ronny's watches brings him happiness.
Am I sitting on this gold mine that I don't even know about?
We're headed back to Ronny Chieng's, where Kevin Zavian dropped in to appraise a couple of watches left to Ronny by his late father and a recent purchase.
You brought 3 watches in that I gather are all special to you.
This watch, what happened was, I was at home during the pandemic and I watched the Bruce Lee documentary, Be Water. It was very inspiring, and so it kind of renewed my interest in Bruce Lee. I was always a fan. Let me name drop as much as I can here. I know famous people. One of the famous people I know is Daniel Day Kim, legendary Asian American actor. He tells me he's got a watch guy who specializes in vintage Seikos, specifically the Bruce Lee stuff. So he goes, hey, that's actually a watch that Bruce Lee supposedly wore. Immediately I was like, I gotta have this watch.
There's many different versions of this watch. So what differentiates this one to make it the Bruce Lee model? Well, we're pretty sure that on his, instead of showing the day of the week in English, it's in Chinese. So it's the Hong Kong dial.
Right.
That's the one everybody agrees that he had. Now, his probably didn't have the 5 sports, but it's as close as you can get to having Bruce Lee's watch.
Do you hear that, people? Thank you.
You bought this not too long ago. How much did you pay?
I think I paid around $1,400.
All right. Value-wise, what I think is...
I don't want to... Okay, hit me with it.
$1,500 in today's market.
Sure, anything positive, I'll take it.
The watch in the middle, tell us about this one.
My dad had this big bag of garbage Omegas. So I took that bag and I went to my watch guy in Malaysia. I was like, hey, can you see what can you repair of any of this? And this was the only one that came out of a bag of like 8 watches.
Here you have a Seamaster. You have a rather fancy dial. A lot of them are plain. If you open it up, you look at the movement number and you look at the serial number, and the watch comes up 1971, 1972. It's a little hard to see, but there's some wear. I can see the plating wearing off on top, so that tells us it's gold filled, not gold.
Okay, that's bad, okay.
Price-wise, on a retail level, all fixed up, $500 today.
That's huge.
Is that you?
Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Do you remember what you spent to repair it?
To repair
and
this?
overhaul it?
It wasn't that much. It would be like $100 maybe.
Your third watch.
This is the classic playing with your dad's watch as a kid before you know what watches are watch. This is the one that was always around the house. I remember it used to be so much bigger in your hands when you held it. It was like, it's massive. My dad had a very interesting career in that he came from very humble origins in Malaysia, and he became a corporate executive. And when he retired, he opened a farm. He retired to do hard labor, and he was never happy in his life. Because he opened a farm, he stopped wearing the watch. I remember asking him, hey, whatever happened to that Rolex? And he's like, oh yeah, it's just in the back. So he gave it to me and he told me he bought it in Hong Kong. I just imagined the kind of person he was in his 30s in Hong Kong, making money, being a businessman, kind of living the dream a bit. And at that time, he must have been really feeling himself because he's not the guy to buy fancy watches.
When this watch came out, it was getting away from those tool watches that were meant for race car drivers and skin divers. And it was Rolex's attempt in the early 70s to make a lifestyle watch. I looked up the serial number. This one comes up 1984. For a long time, people only wanted all steel Rolexes. They didn't want gold. Today, it's just the opposite. So we're seeing a big resurgence in these watches. And it's instantly recognizable.
Yeah. He said it was like you wear it because if you're ever in trouble, you can trade it for your life or something.
So, value-wise, if you had to go buy that watch that year, today, $5,000.
Whoa, that's huge. How much will my dad have spent on this?
He dropped $1,000 on it for sure.
That's crazy. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for sharing my dad's memories. When I'm on tour, one of my favorite things to do is kind of walk through a town. If I'm in the town to do stand-up comedy, I try to walk around in the day to get a feel for it. And one of the things I like to do is kind of go visit shops which have a lot of history in that town. And oftentimes these shops will be bookstores or coffee shops. And inevitably, you'll see a really cool book that has some kind of personal connection to you. I kind of resist it with all my minimalist, small New York apartment willpower, but then sometimes I just can't help it and you just end up buying like a $1 book of this thing you read when you were a kid.
To end the day, our book expert Jan Ealing rode in to discuss Ronny Chieng's well-traveled garage sale purchase.
I found this at a garage sale in Melbourne, Australia, where I used to live. The fact that this is the complete works of it, I thought was amazing, that it fit into such a small volume. It was old. It's like from 1935, I think. So I bought it for probably like $10 or less. And I got home and then I found the name on the front. And I found this woman, Margaret Angus. She's a very remarkable Australian woman. She was one of the first female aeronautical engineers out of the University of Sydney. And I really connected with the idea of her kind of being a minority in her field. Probably, I can only imagine at the time, being a woman studying engineering in Australia. That really resonated with me, being kind of a minority in your field, to the point where when I came to New York, I only had 2 suitcases, not a lot of space, and this was one of the things I put in the suitcase.
That's awesome.
So please tell me how much it's worth. Thank you.
Well, let's hold off a second on that, right? Shakespeare's works were first published in 1623 in what is referred to as the first folio. You'd mentioned that the book is quite old. 1935 seems old to many people. Book printing started in 1455, and the first 45 years of book publication is referred to as sort of books that came out of the cradle, the incunabulas. For that time period alone, there are about 20 million copies extant. So those are the old books, published between 1455 and 1500. Everything else after that, you know...
Okay, look, old is relative,
yes.
Okay?
What is cool about this publication is it's Oxford University Press, so true scholars worked on this, put it together. The former owner can make a difference in a book, so make sure you put your name in here as well. You paid $10 for it about, right? That's, I think, what the value is. So you didn't overspend. You carried it around the globe,
yeah, I did.
You know, which makes it really special to you.
Yeah,
so.
And again, I like the history of it. Who owned it before me, I think that's really special. So.
Don't forget to put your name in it.
Okay, I'll try. If that increases the value, I'll do that. Thanks so much.
My pleasure.
I learned that I like money a lot more than I thought I did. In future movie contract negotiations, I should probably ask for more scripts. I can in fact get paid in scripts. I learned that my dad spent $1,000 in a Rolex shop when he was 30, which he would 100% yell at me for if it was me. I'm glad that we have professionals come in and give their expert opinion. These items that my dad left behind, it's cool to know what they were ultimately kind of worth and what he was thinking about at the time when he got it. I think I will continue my policy of not hoarding crap unless it has some kind of personal connection to me that I can later on use that story to increase the value of items. Dude, it's printing money, man. Just print some money. Can you use any of that? It was just insane. I'm Ronny Chieng. I'm a stand-up comedian, actor. I talk a lot of shit on the internet as well.
I'll remind you, this is PBS.
Oh, the swearing. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, sorry. Can you bleep it? No, that's not gonna fly, right? Sorry, too used to just saying whatever I want for too long now. It's on basic cable.